Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a demo and review with wear check-ins on the new M.A.C foundation that's called the Studio Waterweight. I'm also at the same time going to film a lipstick review check-in of the Galactic lip paint that has been requested. I just figured I'd kill two birds with one stone today. Sorry about the lawnmower in the background if you can hear that. They're doing some maintenance on the landscaping in my apartment complex, so that might be a little annoying or distracting. I already have all my skin prep down. I will list them below. It's the same as always. If anything ever changes with that, I will let you guys know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this half of my face with my beauty blender and this half with a brush, so you can see the different applications to see if one goes on more sheer, one goes on a little more full coverage. So this foundation is rumored to be one of my all-time favorite foundations, which is M.A.C Face and Body. It's supposed to be like face and body, but like kind of on steroids, like a little more full coverage. This one has SPF 30 in there, where this one does not have SPF in it, to the best of my knowledge. It's their first serum gel foundation, from my understanding, and it has this little dropper in there. Now this is very fluidy. This retails for $33 and then plus tax, and you are getting 1 ounce of foundation, which is pretty standard for most M.A.C foundations. First thing I want to note about this foundation is the coloring is very off, in my opinion, compared to what the typical M.A.C system is. I am an N2 and M.A.C Face and Body, which is their equivalent of NW20 and their other foundations. And in things like Studio Sculpt, I am an NW20. In their Prolongwear concealers, I can mix. If I'm going for highlighting, I'll use an NW15, and for just blemish covers, I'll use an NW20 on that as well. So I'm going to do some up-close swatches to show you the difference in color. These foundations run very cool, which if you go into M.A.C, they're going to tell you it goes very warm because their system is backwards. Basically, the foundations are very, very pink. So if you have a very warm skin tone, or like Asian skin, it might be a little different than the shade that you normally wear. For instance, I have never in my life worn an NC from M.A.C in anything because their foundations are very yellow. Then their NC, you got to think of it as not cool. It's yellow. But in this foundation, I am an NC20 because I do find too that this foundation will oxidize slightly and it will pull very pink. So I put 2 swatches of it on my face yesterday and I wore it out to lunch, and I had the pink side, the NW20, pulled very red on my skin, and it just didn't look very natural. I found that this NC20 matched me perfectly. A lot of times too, when you're in these lower numbers in M.A.C, like NC, like 15, 20, 10, a lot of them can be used interchangeably because they are so light at that level. I'll get into some more of the claims in my first check-in, how I normally do. So let's just get this started. So this says to shake very well. I will zoom in during application so you can see. One thing I do like about this packaging is there's almost kind of like, I call it like a strainer or something. When you pull the stopper up from it, there's almost something that like scrapes the sides of it. This cover effects, I like these drops a lot, but it's super messy up top here. If you can see, it's just kind of like a free-for-all on that top. This top, when you open it, it's kind of has that little stopper around it, so it kind of scrapes off that product. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple drops on the back of my paw palette, and I'm going to pick up my brush. This is my Morphe M439. I'm going to tap it in there, and I'm just going to dot it over my face, and then I'm going to go and blend it in. And remember, I'm going to do just half of my face with a brush and then the other half with my beauty blender. So let's kind of stipple it on first. If I didn't say, clearly I already have my eyebrows done and my eye makeup. My allergies are driving me crazy, so I haven't really gone crazy today with my eye makeup because I'm rubbing my eyes nonstop. I do have to finish the underneath of my eye, but I wanted to get this down first. This boasts as a sheer to medium buildable coverage foundation, and I would say that's pretty spot on. I would call this just like what my Face and Body is. It just kind of goes on. It has a really skin-like appearance. It doesn't appear to be really matte, and it does kind of just even out your skin tone. I realized I forgot to do an up close picture right before I put this on of the before. So I'm just gonna do this side that I haven't done yet, and then we'll show as the day goes on, and I'll try to do a side-by-side video. You can see the difference. It kind of just went on and evened out this tone. Now I'm going to take a little more of that. I'm assuming the Beauty Blender is gonna shear it out a little more because of the damp sponge. I'm going to put some on the back of my paw palette again. I'm going, actually, instead of dipping my Beauty Blender in, I'm going to pick it up with my finger and dot it around, because sometimes when you pick it up right with the Beauty Blender, it absorbs some of it. And then I'm just going to blend this in. For me personally, I like this side better put on with the Beauty Blender, so I'm just gonna go back and just kind of touch that side up. Okay, as you guys can see, it has like a nice kind of sheen to it like I like. Me personally, I'm not gonna put another layer on because I don't really like a heavy caking up of foundation. I think it's just really to kind of even out your skin tone. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup, and I will come back in to start the timer with you guys. Hey guys, so my makeup is all done. It's laying really nice. It kind of reminds me of, I haven't used my face and body in so long because I was trying out all these other foundations, and I fell in love with the Dior Air Flash. But my three favorite foundations are the MAC Face and Body, my Dior Air Flash, and then I've been using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD a lot that I like too. What I like about this is this is not going to be for anybody that wants full coverage foundation, but this lays really nice and it gives a nice finish to it. It's not what I would call as dewy as the Face and Body, which is really liquidy, but it's close. I do have highlighter down right here, and I did do some blush. I have some cream contour down. I do not ever set my face with powder. I did set underneath my eyes though with my foundation so it doesn't crease. I am going to do a lipstick check-in, so I haven't put anything on my lips besides some balm. So for those of you not aware of how I do my reviews, I'm going to give this a total of 8 hours worth of wear, untouched. I'm going to do my first check-in in 4 hours, and then the last check-in in the additional 4 hours. I will not retouch my foundation. I will not powder this. I will not do anything, just to show you how it holds up throughout the day. If you're not aware, my skin type, I am dry to kind of normal, but these are my problem areas. I get really dry around the cracks of my nose and onto my chin. I feel like this NC20 matches me perfectly, which is really throwing me off because I've always been NW20. I love the finish on this so far, so we'll see how it holds up throughout the day. It's currently 11:34. I'm gonna go start my liquid lipstick check-in too, so I will see you guys in another 4 hours. Hey guys, so it is 3:42, roughly 4 hours after initial application of both my foundation and my lipstick, but first let's do the foundation. I'm going to zoom in to show you the wear. I think it's holding up really nice. I will say that today is one of those days at work that I'm like putting my head in my hands like, ugh. So I have touched my face quite a bit, especially around the border of my face right here and on my forehead. This is probably one of the more lightweight foundation formulas I've ever worn. Like I got that Bare Minerals one and I detested that. It went on really nice for about 10 minutes and then it looked like crap. And I've tried a few other serum foundations that I really didn't care for. So far I really like this. It is kind of gathering a little bit on the sides of my nose, which are my problem areas I told you. It's not doing anything on my chin. It's settled just a little into my smile lines right here and a little onto the two lines on my forehead. So if you guys can see right here, it's kind of settled right there. I actually like it a little bit longer as I wear it because it's giving me more of a dew finish. Judging by how kind of slick I look on this cheek, it's already telling me that I don't think this is going to be great for people with oily skin, even though they say it will be. I don't think I believe that. My nose is the spot that I get pretty red on normally. It's just, I don't know why. My nose is just always kind of flush. So I normally put a powder over that, a mineral foundation, which I didn't put one on today just to really see how this wears and if it breaks up there. I got some new makeup in the mail, so I went a little swatch happy on the back of my hand, so don't pay attention to that. Okay, now let's get into some of the details of this foundation. I did hear some people say that this is the same formula as the Smashbox BB Water, which very well could have been because they're both made by Estee Lauder. They're the parent company that owns both M.A.C and Smashbox. I always like to check on things myself. I don't like to just believe what anybody says just in case. So I did do some research on both of the ingredient lists, and I will show them right now for you guys. The M.A.C on this side and then the Smashbox on that side. And in fact, when I matched up ingredient for ingredient, they are an exact dupe. Every ingredient on that list is exactly the same. The difference is that the M.A.C sells for $33 and the Smashbox sells for $42 for the same exact product, the same exact ingredients, same exact amount. But the Smashbox one is only available in 8 different shades, while the M.A.C is available in 23. So your range and color selection is much better in the M.A.C. What I also like about this M.A.C is sometimes it's hard to find their foundations get any lighter than like NW20, and some of them go to like NC15. This comes in NW13, NW15, NW18, and all the way on the cool side, or actually the warm, but they're cool, to NC15. Comes in a pretty standard M.A.C box. What I did think was interesting that I didn't notice before, it says it's made in Belgium. I don't think any of my other M.A.C foundations have ever said that they were made in Belgium. So that was interesting. I'm going to leave links below, guys, where you can go check out for yourself the ingredients. So again, you don't have to take my word on it. You can just compare them. Why Estee Lauder would do that? It's funny because I would consider M.A.C more of a premium brand than Smashbox, so it's weird to me. I would have thought that if they were going to do it one way or the other, I would have thought the Smashbox would have been less expensive than the M.A.C, but that's not the case. I'm going to read off of their website so I can just tell you guys the claim that they have. M.A.C advertises this as medium buildable coverage with natural satin finish and it being weightless. It's saying it lasts for hours with a stay true color with sheer to medium buildable coverage. It's saying it softly blurs imperfections such as pores and fine lines while also controlling oil. What I like about this is it does have an SPF in it, but what I can tell you is the ingredients that are their active ingredients in here for the sunscreen is what's helping this keep a fluidy consistency, because typically the ones that I like the zinc oxide and those thicker ones, would make this more of like a heavy gel cream foundation. This is not going to provide you enough sun protection with the thin formula how it goes on. I mean, it will give you some, but it's not going to be enough because you're not going to be building it up thick enough on your face since it's a very thin coat. So you do still need to wear SPF with this. I recommend wearing SPF every single day under no matter what you're wearing. I even layer my sunscreen sometimes. If I didn't remember to mention it earlier in the morning, I do recommend that you go into store and be matched with this, because if I would have just gone online and bought my regular shade, this wouldn't have matched me and I wouldn't have liked it. It says it stays true to color. I don't really find that, because I do find that it oxidizes, which is weird on me because typically oxidation occurs mostly on people with oily skin, because the oils from their skin mixes with the oils in the product or whatever may be in the product, and it can kind of turn orange, which I found that to happen on me and my dry skin just on a small patch test on the side of my face. So far, I do like this foundation, and I will see you guys in another 4 hours. Hey guys, so it is 7:24. It's a little shy of 8 hours after initial application. My allergies are kicking in full gear, and I need to take a Benadryl so I can breathe and stop scratching my face and my eyes. So I'm gonna do this about 20 minutes early. Hope you don't mind. Don't mind if my lipstick looks a little crazy right now. I am doing that wear check-in as well, and it's at the 8-hour mark for that as well. The foundation, I think is wearing really well. I really love, again, Face and Body. It is one of my favorite foundations. I feel like Face and Body is one of those foundations that you either completely love or you hate, because it's all about the consistency of it and the coverage you get with it. And its finish. Right now, I will say that I am kind of dewy. I'm going to zoom in to show you, and right on my problem areas, which is right here and here, my chin, it's starting to break up right in that fold of my chin, and right here it's starting to kind of cake in that dry area of mine. So there, so you guys can see, like right here I'm a little shiny. My blush is held up, my highlighter is still on. Same here, you can see right in here what I'm talking about, where it's kind of caking. Right there on the side. I look like a weirdo doing that. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I blot it. I have some blotting papers to see if that would remove some of the shine if you didn't want it, which I typically like shine. Holy goodness sakes. That is a lot of shine. Ugh. I'm not even oily. Remember that. I'm dry. I've never had oil like this. Okay, what I'll say is blotting it, it's such a thin foundation, it's basically removed it from my face. To be gross, but and that was just basically the shine on it. It's pretty much removed all the foundation once I did that. So basically I have no foundation left on my cheeks. I think maybe just a very small amount in patches. What I will say is where this foundation has like rubbed away around the border of my head and stuff from putting my hand up there, since it's such a sheer to medium coverage, it's less noticeable opposed to if you were rocking a full coverage foundation and it starts wearing away in areas where you can see like big gaps in the coverage. I really do like this foundation. I'm going to continue to play with it. This isn't something I feel really that you'd mix in with other foundations to change its color. You could mix it in with other foundations to change the finish of it. Like if you want something a little more luminous, maybe in a matte foundation or something, you can add a few drops of this. So I personally really like this. I think this foundation is great for people with normal to dry skin. I don't think that this is going to be a good fit for oily skin, but since I don't have oily skin, you might want to check out some other reviews of girls, not just their application on it, because any foundation can look amazing once you put it on. It has to do with how it's going to wear throughout the day. I really do like these two. It would be really difficult for me to choose between which one. I'm going to have to play with this a little more because this is only my second time wearing it. Where this I've been wearing for such a long time, I've gone through a couple of these really big bottles. Maybe this would be different if you had really oily skin and you set it with a powder, which I typically don't do. But again, I find these kind of, it's oil free, but I find these kind of serum foundations to kind of wreak havoc with people with oily skin. And again, the proof is in the blotting paper that I am never oily. So this was... In closing, I am happy with my purchase. I will continue to keep using it. I'll put it on rotation with my other foundations depending on what kind of coverage and finish I'm looking for. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video and you have not subscribed already, please do so. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.